Well, it's 7 a.m. It's still fucking dark out. Had a rough night, couldn't sleep. Decided I'd come to work and get a few hours in on Judas before the day starts. So this is the intro. Judas finished all of the oil cooler setup and test ran it yesterday. Everything looks good, so I think I'm ready to put its face back on. So that's what's coming up. Judas gets its front end. They'll need final alignment when I get everything else on. But now I'm turning my attention to the bumper, and I figured I'd share this with you. So when I bought the car, as I said in my prior videos, it was missing a lot of its front end, including the bumper. And at that time I was experimenting with carbon fiber and mold making. So I managed to convince someone to lend me their RS6 bumper, and I pulled a mold and I built a couple of these. So wet layup, vacuum bagged carbon fiber RS6 bumper. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. Making these returns required removable sections in the mold, and it all worked out pretty good. I'm showing you the inside right now. Obviously, these are the mounts. I'm not running a crash bar because there's no room for one really. Let me flip this thing over. So this is the finished product, and I even molded in the fake sensors, parking sensors, which I don't use anymore. Originally I did have the sprayers in here. I molded those separately and they did work, but I didn't like it, so I made this one without them. This lip spoiler is I think it's a Seat Cupra R lip spoiler, and it's the same one that I have on the S8. The S8 one, I recently added a metal extension to it because I kept getting it caught on curbs and ripping it off. So I'll probably end up doing the same thing on Judas, and on here the S8, this metal piece goes back and goes underneath the motor and has some airflow stuff in it. And that's always been my intention on Judas, is to build an aluminum belly pan and clean up the airflow on the underside. So right now I never got around to putting these grills and spotlight, fog light housings in. So I'm just working on that now. I'm not going to put spotlights in. I'm actually going to put a brake cooling duct in here, duct some air to the brakes, and then I'm also going to pull air from here to some other places in the car, predominantly the power steering cooler and a few other things. Pull my old New Hampshire plate off, but I'm going to be working for an hour or two on making some tabs to hold these things in, and figuring out how I'm going to attach some duct to it. So I'm cut off for a little bit. So after some hours, got the front end buttoned up and on. I don't have my brake ducts in yet, but I do have all of the grills mounted. Headlights in, oil coolers and everything where they need to be. All the lines where they need to be. Also put in the rain tray cover and cleaned a few other bits and pieces up. Lots of niggly little details, which is looking pretty good. Huh. There we go. Looking pretty good. Next up is bleeding the clutch, checking I've got clutch function, gears, and I've got to check the transmission fluid, and then put some air in the tires, put it on the ground, see if it'll move under its own power. If it will, I'm going to bring it out over here and give it a bath, and then the inevitable has to happen. I have to take it for a test drive. So on to bleeding the clutch. All right, gonna see if we've got some gears and a clutch. bleeding required. I hope to take the car for its first drive, but the bleeding in the clutch was proving to be problematic. I first tried just with my motive pressure bleeder for about 2 hours, and it got a little bit better. I slept on it, and this morning I came in and I coupled together some more fittings. So this here was the top of my original remote bleed. So I added another 6 inches and another couple of fittings and a different type of bleed, and then I hooked that up to my collection bottle. This thing's awesome. I've had it for about 10 years. It's a surgical product. And then to my Harbor Freight vacuum bleeder. So pressure on one side, vacuum on the other, crack the bleed screw, pump the pedal a bunch, and I think we're there now. So next job is to probably clean up and light this thing up and see how the clutch is. See if I actually got it. Alright, just got done bleeding the clutch. Let's see if we've got a clutch and some drive. Gotta put the battery on.